founding family. Wow.
Friends, listen, I thought like this was just going to be like I don't know why, but I thought this was just going to be like a normal Dynamite. There's so much to talk about. I don't know where to begin.
So much fun.
We had so much fun.
It was a bar. Thank you. My rap career, I wouldn't say it's taken off, but I mean it's inevitable. I feel like so, but you already know that. Before we get into this, and we will. Last week I made a promise I did not follow through on, and actually a couple people DM'd me. They want us to talk about Hannah Montana lyric.
I think that's important. I think that we got to give the people what they want.
So we got to give it a few minutes. Obviously, we are coming up on the 20-year anniversary of Hannah Montana, which is a little insane because I remember it airing, and I'm like, now the passage of time is real and inevitable. But lyric, what are your top 3 Hannah Montana songs? Because there's rumors she might be doing a little something. She might be doing a little show. She gonna put that wig back on. Top 3 Hannah Montana.
I have to say, Ordinary Girl.
Yes.
Rockstar. I actually performed that at a 5th grade talent show.
Well, I need to see that.
I did. It is not recorded. What would be the last one? What's that list? What was on the list that I sent you? I'm going to find out. Wait, hold on. I'm going to find it because I know that I made a list because Dani asked the question and put me on the spot the other day. And you didn't
put you on the spot. This is something I thought you would feel passionately about.
Well, I'm trying to figure out like what did I write on it. And it's just being on the spot to like make those kind of decisions. It just scared me a little bit. That's all.
My apologies.
Okay, well, we'll do this.
Okay, here were my top 10.
Y'all Blue Jeans.
Huh?
I think I'm gonna go with Old Blue Jeans.
I love that song. I listen to that song all the time. Well, I need a little, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put on my Old Blue Jeans. My top 3. I Got Nerve is still the song I listen to pump me up before anything. It won't be Megan. It won't be anything. It's just like, you know what? I know who I am. I know where I stand. I don't need to run away. When like I said, you know what, girl, that is a gospel. I Got Nerve. I don't want to repeat the ones that you've said, so He Could Be the One is up there. And Gonna Get This. I know that's a lot of people's top song. Gonna Get This because it was more like modern. I love it. See? I love it, but it's not like that's like late stages Hannah to me. It's not a classic. We Got the Party featuring the Jonas Brothers. Obviously, it's 10 out of 10s. Did you see the Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato?
Girl, you know what? I thought about that. I said, it was right after you had said the thing about like the Hannah Montana. I said, you know what? Y'all, this is probably a recession indicator. I just don't care.
It's like 100% a recession indicator.
1000%. And it's probably, we should really be scared, but I need comfort so bad that I'm going to take it.
And you know what? Look, I'm happy for Demi. Because you look happy, you look healthy. Nick Jonas, you will pay for what you did. Nick Jonas, you'll pay for what you did. Joe Jonas, what the PR did not work when you went through that divorce. Did not work.
Oh.
But yes. As we cover all things pop culture before we get into Dynamite, Blondie, Taylor Swift, I don't know how y'all feel about her, is releasing a new album. I have to say I have abysmally low expectations for it. It has the name of something I'm going to hate. It really gives me bad vibes. And I like her music. I'm not somebody that'd be like, oh, like, did I go to her concert? No, because tickets were $1,000. If they weren't, I would have gone, because it's like fun.
Can I say something?
Please.
And y'all don't clip this and try to shoot me. This is just an opinion.
I'm going to clip this.
I say this as somebody who has been to Taylor Swift concert, not the Eras tour, but I was on both the Red and Speak Now tour.
Moneybags.
Part of my childhood. This is how I feel about these last few Taylor Swift albums.
Going back to which one?
Called them going back to, I would say, probably Evermore.
I agree.
Honestly, I really didn't care much for Reputation, but I acknowledge
Reputation is awful.
I acknowledge that a lot of people love it, right? But these last couple albums, it's all but a money laundering scheme. The way that these numbers have been fudged, the way that all of these streaming listen, and what my biggest issue truly is that I feel like I haven't seen much growth in Taylor's music, right? Like, she's somebody that I grew up with, and I feel like she still makes the same music cater to the same audience.
I don't.
Wait, sorry. I just need to finish. I need to get just because I've been waiting to say this. It feels like forever. I don't believe that me and a 15-year-old girl should feel the same way about music. We should not see it exactly the same.
I understand where you're coming from.
And I feel like, why is Taylor Swift's audience still the same audience that Olivia Rodrigo has and stuff? Like, why is it? I feel like it's, and for those of us that are older,
people are grown. Your people are grown.
Utilize ourselves to fit still in that box, and I just don't. It worries me. It stresses me out, and also too, I feel like for so much record breaking, and for all of these records that are broken and all these things that are sold, show me one piece of culturally significant music over the last couple of years, of a song or album that is genuinely driven culture, that is actually, like, started movements. But
see, that's my whole thing with Taylor Swift, is that I don't think that we need to pretend like she's anything that she's not. Just be a white girl with a guitar. Like, it's whenever we start talking about this, like, huge, bigger conversation. You know what? I'm not going to get into this because I can talk about this all day, but I agree with you on a lot of your points. I think her last album, like, is the most clear representation of that. There is not a single good song on that last 40 million song album.
It's not even the fact that it's like bad. It's just not memorable. It's like, it feels soulless.
It is, especially that last one. There's nothing to it. I really enjoyed Folklore because I was like, oh, this is different.
I agree.
This feels like you're stepping into something different. And I was hopeful when you released that one that maybe that's where we were going to go. And I just feel like it has been backwards ever since. I have very low expectations for this one. I don't think it will be very good. I hope I'm wrong, because I mean, I want more good music out there, I will say, but yeah, no. Grown lady.
I don't know. It just doesn't make me feel anything. And I think, like, as I get older, especially for
Midnight's was dog shit too. Sorry.
Correct.
I forgot that album even existed.
It's just like, for artists that I feel like I grew up with, I want to feel like I've grown with you, like, I can listen to Beyonce's albums when she was in Destiny's Child, or like her first album, and it sounds completely different from the music that she's making now. Like,
maybe.
Like Taylor Swift, you still in You Belong With Me land. You still in, I feel like we at the VMAs back then, like, still of, and you want to know what really eggs it home? What really takes it home is that, you know what? I'm not going to be ashamed of this. I am a fan of The Summer I Turned Pretty. I love it. It's a I do. There is some of the acting terrible, absolutely. But guess what? I live for a good teen rom-com. But what I notice is that Taylor Swift's music is a soundtrack for most of this, and it's because guess what? That is still the mindset of the music. It's made for stuff like this. We are perpetually stuck in teenhood. Why
you watching it?
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
I can't get on those soapbox. You want to view it. That bitch name is Belly, and you said that. You said this is the one that I want to watch. You said
pause. You are missing the point.
Go ahead. Let me know what's going on this show.
Dani, I think you're missing the point.
No, I think I've hit the point because everything that you're saying, I understand. But you yourself are part.
The point is that the point that I was trying to make is that it is still for that same audience. Girl, I can't look at more mature television shows and the music fits. It doesn't for a grown woman show. It does not. Okay. And here's the thing. I also want to talk about in the summer I turned pretty. I think Belly is stupid. I think she's an absolute idiot.
You're not speaking to people that know nothing that's happening on that show.
I am here for Conrad Fisher.
Ain't nobody watching that.
I am here for Conrad Fisher.
Act like that shit.
I am here for Conrad Fisher. I think that Conrad Fisher is a victim. I think that Belly is also a villain. All right. So I'm not even
talking about who are these people.
Clearly, you knew because you knew her name. So, like, you know what?
I know that bitch name is Belly, and that is enough to make me not tune in. That's not a person's name.
Cool.
Nobody's name.
Oh
you know what? You know what? You know what?
I don't watch the summer intern pretty. I'm so cool.
Watch that show. I do.
Do you watch Love Island?
Yeah, but that's different.
Shut up. Oh my God. You watch so my brain is running because I'm watching the summer I turn pretty, but you
at least they're adults.
You watch that
Peacock. I want to make
watch that Peacock reality slop.
I want to clarify the point because you were the one talking crazy about Queenhood, and you were the one talking crazy about Windsor. That was you. I was not anyone until you brought it up. Love Island. Exactly. Everybody on Love Island is
grown people business. Any grown person that willingly sends themselves on an island to go and be recorded 24/7, that's grown people business. But I can't
Is that how you feel about Survivor? Survivor is the same fucking thing. Survivor is the same thing.
We can't watch it.
Hey, hold on.
We can't read YA.
You just laid out.
So we can't read. So I'm sorry. There's an age limit on YA. There's an age limit on YA. So you don't read YA.
I will not.
No. Speak up. So you don't read YA.
I don't.
Loser. Anyway,
I was
about to say, I know you're lying.
You're knocking Love Island. Because you said any person.
No, there's not an age limit, Chloe.
There is.
There's not.
There's
not.
Age limit is.
What is the age limit? I'm still in my 20s. We can revisit this at a different time. But guess what? Yeah, Dani, did you watch Forever?
No. What is that?
Oh.
I have no idea what that is.
So basically, Forever is like it's a YA series, but it's Black people. It just came out on Netflix. It was really beautiful.
Oh, that's nice. I've been watching Scandal because I'm an adult.
Okay, I watch Scandal too. I watch everything except for that reality slop.
What? There's nothing wrong with reality TV. The point of reality TV.
No, I love reality TV. I said Love Island is reality slop.
It is. And you know what? Look, the first time I tried to watch Love Island and they started talking, I was like, I'm getting dumber by the minute. I can't do this. And then I felt so left out culturally that I had to watch the last season of Love Island.
Oh, wow. Are you susceptible to peer pressure?
Now, you know good and damn well that the answer to that is no. I would prefer everyone.
You said it, not me.
You know what it was? It wasn't necessarily peer pressure as much as it was like, can you guys let me in on the joke? Like, what's funny? Because you keep hearing about these people, whether you watch Love Island or not. You keep hearing about these people.
You're correct. I will say I was able to stay away from most of it until that man
he needs.
Now that was crazy. I will say. Now that man turning out to be racist and was lying to that lady for
a year.
That was
a year.
Even I was like, all right. Oh, all right.
Oh my God, no that.
That was crazy.
That is crazy.
That
crazy. Is something that we as society, we need to address
crazy.
as a
we
people.
Gotta hog tie him. I said, why would you do that,
brother.
nice lady?
That shit was crazy.
So messed up.
She didn't do nothing to you. And
has there been any follow up on that? I had to mute all their names because it was too much. But what it do?
No, there was literally like there's like no follow up. She was like, I don't really want to talk about this no more. Guys, to anybody that doesn't watch Love Island, let me give you the TLDR. So last season 6 was like the biggest season of Love Island here in the States. So they got like a reunion and they got like a little spin-off series. Okay. The couple that came in third, the girl Janae, she's black, she's beautiful. The couple that came in third, right? She had been going through it in the villa. Basically, all these men being like, I'm not attracted to you. Like, you're fucking annoying. Basically, like, dogging her the whole time. This guy comes in and finally, you know, it's turned around. It's actually really sad because she was like a victim the whole time she was in there. And this guy comes in, turns it around. They have this huge, you know, romance and like love story, whatever. They are together for a year, filming the spinoff, doing all this different stuff, getting all these brand deals and stuff, like living right next to each other. They're together. She thinks they're in love. And then 2 weeks ago or last week, whatever, this motherfucker, it comes out that they broke up. And everybody's like, oh my God, that's really sudden. They were together yesterday. This motherfucker was in his group chats with his boys talking about, I don't like black girls. I'm just not.
Chat room showing slurs.
Chat room showing feet. He was dogging her, talking crazy about her. As someone you're supposed to be in love with, he's like, I never liked her. It's all for the clout. You've been 365 days of your life. And he was cheating on her the whole time. With white girls, the whole time. So yes. So if you heard anything last week about like Kenny and Janae, or like what the hell did Kenny do? That's what he did. He was racist and he was a cheater the whole time they were together, and he was put this front on with her. The whole world thought they were in love, and he was talking about
what did Kenny do trending. So y'all know where my heart go. I said, what's going on? I said, he ain't even been on TV. I said, what's going on? And then I said,
let me know.
I said all this to say this was not even ever supposed to turn into a roast session on me.
Oh no.
I just felt like I just worry about not seeing a lot of growth in Taylor Swift's music. I hope that this displays some growth, like the Showgirl concept or whatever. Listen, I still need to watch The Last Showgirl, the movie that came out. They only did a limited release with Pamela Anderson was in it, so I need to watch that. But yeah, I don't have high hopes, but I'm sure that it's going to start.
You'll buy it anyway. Not you, but the people.
Yeah, it's going to start a crazy anyway. And just like, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel, don't get me wrong, and people can say whatever they want because they're like, well, you're a Beyonce fan and go to her tours and stuff. Etc. Yeah, but like, it's like a certain level of something about like the way that I saw adult women acting during like the Eras tour of like, don't get me wrong, I'm all about.
No, you're right. No, you're right.
I'm all about, partaking in like girlhood and stuff, right? You know, y'all, I love a good friendship, bracelet exchange, etc. But like, it's okay to age. I think we need to validate that. It's okay to age.
We have got to talk about Dynamite, but I want to add quickly because there's so much to cover on Dynamite. But I do want to add quickly, right? Like, I think white women a lot of the time equate girlhood and community with adolescence.
Correct.
And understandably so. But you need to ask yourself what that looks like as a grown woman.
Absolutely. 1000%. That's really well said.
Anyway.
Very well said.
All Wrestling had a show tonight called Collision. And
we started off with our AEW World Champion, Hangman Adam Page. Well, Pete's having a splendid, amazing, blessed. Well, clearly not because they kind of took him out on it at the end of the show. But he looked great. And MJF was also there. I'm not gonna lie, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, you got dog walked on that mic tonight, brother. What? But you know what? I felt like I said this is so good for him. I think that's really
It was so good for both of them because, and to me, it kind of just demonstrated. It really just demonstrated the growth of Hangman's character, where he's like, actually, I'm not going to be rage baited. I'm going to rage bait you. Which guys, y'all know a year ago he would have fell for all of it, but baby, the meds are working. And
Absolutely.
you know what? You know what I will say about this whole exchange? I really loved it because I really felt like it was very representative of where both of their characters are right now, but also who they've always been. So like those same insecurities that MJF knows that Hangman has, like those old tricks are not going to work. So he's now like, I'm going to have to get creative. I'm going to have to find something else to dig at because this used to work on you. I don't know what the hell to say. But I did think that it was really, oh my God, it's just so good to have two people locked in a world title feud. No more riddles. I love that. I don't like bridge trolls. It got to a point where I was like, can you please just say something.
Before Double or Nothing. Oh my God. And I'm going to be honest. And I think that we need to, and we'll get there directly after this. I think it's possible to hold two truths at one time, at the same time. Jon Moxley has been fantastic since Double or Nothing. I think that everything he said has been on point. His wrestling has been on point. Ever since Anarchy in the Arena, man, we have been doing well. But that does not negate the shit that happened before that. Y'all, we were in hell. And I don't think y'all realize how deep was it all worth it at the end of the day? Absolutely. We ended up truly victorious. And honestly, we got so much more than I ever thought we ever would. I never thought that this was going to end in Hangman as world champion at All In and that I would be in attendance. So I'm not even going to say it wasn't worth it or anything like that, but that doesn't mean it wasn't dog shit.
It was, please do not forget, it was so hard to watch.
It was bad. It was terrible.
And it was the same riddles. You think that you are able to take this. It's honestly the way that Olivia's dad be talking to her.
Yes.
Yes. Olivia, you think that you're a grown woman, Olivia. You know nothing of the real world. You know nothing of the way that we operate over on this side.
Literally, Jalen, Jon Moxley is in my top 5 all time. One of my absolute favorite wrestlers, who ever lived. So to watch him go through that, I kind of felt like I said, he must be going through a crisis or something and he don't know what's going on. But it feels like he's found himself again. But I say all that to say, yes, it is beautiful to not be talking in riddles. And even too, when MJF goes off on his tangents and goes on to his typical bag of tricks, Hangman be like, shut the fuck up. And I'd be like, oh, I said, wow. He said, we don't care.
But you know what? What I appreciated about this exchange too was I didn't necessarily just think it was MJF's old bag of tricks, because sometimes the bitch can get very oh, you think you're better than me, you're not better than me. This like I said, honestly, from when they started planting seeds that this might be it, everything that MJF is saying right now, low-key kind of true. Literally right before he said what he said, I was like, Hangman could kill somebody and ask me to hide the body and I help him. And then he was like, you guys act like he's a god. And I was like, well, you might have a point there. So part of it's okay, I like when we're preying on real insecurities, and now Hangman's got the upper hand on you because you're incredibly insecure and what you thought you had on him doesn't work. Which I also think is a good dynamic because you will be looking up at those lights, baby.
1000%.
So you getting dog walked on the microphone, 100% needed. 100% needed.
I think also too of just, and maybe obviously I think that's part of it, but I think he misses the fact that people love Hangman because he's not a god, he's not all knowing, all powerful. He's not perfect. He's deeply flawed. We know something.
And we've been in hell with him, baby.
We know something's wrong with him. We just don't care.
And Hangman doesn't see himself as
exactly. He flat out said, these people might not hold me accountable, but I do hold myself accountable. Okay, he said, I do acknowledge.
We let you off, baby.
He said they are just as crazy as I am. Okay, but he said we do got to draw a line somewhere. We do have to draw a line somewhere. He said I'd already know.
It's back on me now.
He said they willing to go off a cliff.
Y'all immoral as fuck.
It's so crazy. I don't see it. Somebody's been like posting it, but like every single week since he won the title, it's like these insert affinity group here for Hangman, for Hangman, hillbillies for Hangman, all the insert here for Hangman. It's actually really crazy. People say I don't care. Neurodivergence for Hangman. You know, bisexuals for Hangman, bipolars for Hangman. It really doesn't matter. You know, SSRIs for Hangman.
Shake your meds.
You know, shake your meds, shake your meds, shake your meds. Shake your meds, shake your meds. We should freestyle that one day. Shake your meds, shake your meds. Bring your SSRIs, folks. I'll bring my.
That's gonna be the name of the space I do next week.
Bring your
SSRI party.
We should do a Forbidden Door pre-show. Shake your meds, shake your meds, shake your meds. I'm a little midday pick me up. The mentally ill for Hangman, you know. But yeah, this was really great. I think that MJF is doing. This is the best run he's had since All In 2023. And I think that he's really challenged himself this year. I think he's made the best out of most things. Like, obviously, he's had some missteps. Some stuff that comes out of his mouth is just fucking stupid. I'm never going to dispute that. But all in all, the CMLL stuff he's doing has been awesome. The Mystico stuff has been awesome. The Mark Briscoe match was good. I've been pretty pleased. And also, I think that he's going to have a really great match this weekend in Arena Mexico versus Zandikin Jr., which I'm super excited about. So, yeah, I think that he's continuing to push himself. Now, you can't win the title, but
absolutely not.
I do know that this character development is going to continue to be really, really, really good for you. Really happy for you.
It's nothing around your waist, babe.
Absolutely.
Absolutely nothing.
Next, we moved on to Jon Moxley versus Kevin Knight. Listen,
Big Jet,
I have plans that I cannot share with you right now because the haters will try to sabotage me. But Big Jet, we are taking you to the tip of the top. And I can also tell that Mox likes him because I said he wrestled him 2 days back to back. I said, oh, he really likes. And as you see, if Jon Moxley likes somebody, they will always be employed. They will always be, for better or for worse, they will always be employed. And so, Jet, you're coming with me. This was really great.
This match was great. And you know what I struggle with? Honestly, every time that I see Kevin Knight or Speedball wrestle, I'm like, wow, they're so good as singles stars. I love them so much in singles competition. You should win the TNT title. And then I see them wrestle in tag, and I'm like, there go your tag champs. And then they partner with literally anybody. And I'm like, actually, matter of fact, trios champs. So, you know, I think those are two of AEW's. I think they're going to end up being two of AEW's best signings ever because they're so versatile and they can truly be like drag and dropped into all of the different divisions. And Kevin Knight, we already knew. But you 100%, I hope that you can bench enough because there's going to be a rocket on your back because you're one of my elite employees.
Elite
This
employees.
match was great. This match was so much fun. As someone who was like ready for Mox to go away after All In, not in like a crazy like bad way, but like I was like, right, we're done with the Death Riders. The time since has still been entertaining.
Yeah.
Now, it needs to end at Forbidden Door.
It's not going to end until
they get that Darby singles match.
Yeah.
I know. But that doesn't work for me, brother. I can't live like this. And honestly, Mox, if you want to keep doing the same shit, but like the Death Riders, we got to move on. Especially without Pac, we got to move on.
Well, y'all, Will or Yuta is more hair than man at this point.
That's true. It's a little unsettling.
Oh, also going back to the Hangman MJF thing, did anybody notice that he used some of Swerve's words when he was doing like he was like, show these people, show yourself, etc. Swerve said that to him in like when they were like first feuding, like
I want to identify the mental illness that you have to remember those things. She saw one man talking. She said, "You know, this reminds me of when Swerve and Hangman were feuding." And I can't even talk crazy about you because yes, I noticed that too.
I was about to say, so what did you say about me for?
I noticed that too. There's something wrong with us. To always be able to look at a Hangman situation and to say, matter of fact.
No, you know what? No, here's the thing, and I want to push back on that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I think actually that it's a part of being an elite fan. Like you are taught to literally notice everything, all the details, all the lore. I feel like it's and honestly, even in like my work as a I don't want to like. I'm not bragging about this, right? But a lot of times, like when when I'm writing about stuff or like I don't really have to check back check certain things because I do know it off the top of my head, like lore, like you to regurgitate it or type it or anything. Like obviously I do at the end like check your work because that's what we were taught to do in school. But yeah, like I think like it's genuinely made me better in the sense like Kenny Omega genuinely broke my brain, reconstructed he broke my brain and reconstructed how I view wrestling to where like notice everything.
Like, no, I'm agreeing with you. I actually had the same experience. And sometimes it can be
the voices speak to me often.
Sometimes it can be they talk to me. I understand. But sometimes it can be like for better or for worse. You notice everything for better or for worse as a girl. Because sometimes there's literally nothing there at all. But you'll be sitting there and you're like, okay, but maybe since he blinked 4 times instead of 3, that's actually a signal. And so sometimes you do kind of look and feel like the person like with a cork board.
Yeah, I feel like, and especially like when it comes to Kenny, like I feel like y'all, like I know him, like y'all.
I know him. Y'all know him. He wouldn't do it like that.
I know him, like you know, like I know him.
Something would be like this, like y'all don't understand him. You know,
I know him. Even too, like when I knew, even like when it was teased like the Bucks about to do this broke storyline, I said, oh, they about to do this. But yeah, that was actually a really interesting tidbit of they done learn this. They started talking like each other. I think that's so funny. Anyway, back to what John Moxley and them was doing. Really good match from him and the Jet. Next we
this whole episode of Dynamite was like, what the fuck? Because okay, fine, y'all have a good match. Okay, do we expect Kevin Knight to get jumped? Yes. Speedball right there. All right, y'all still outnumbered. And you're like, all right, Darby finna come out here, you know, and yes. And then Mr. Magic himself.
Body bags.
Body bags. Yeah, first of all, yeah, body bags. There's something wrong with y'all. And you know what? I just think about the people, like there's been a lot of people the past few weeks that I've seen like who were watching only WWE who have been like, you know, turned off by that product and like are tuning into AEW.
Oh, hey, they tweets be crazy. Like the shit that they've been saying, they're like, what is this place?
And it's so like, you know, it's just like we're so desensitized to it. Like, yeah, they kill people, but it's okay. Like, you know. What you want me to say?
Also, hey, Jalen, for real, they put a CIA experiment in Will Ospreay's next. I said, Ariana,
hey, what did I say? What did I say a few weeks back? I said, now, I'm not a doctor, but 2 herniated discs in your neck that was already fucked up for real, that we do know about. Like, your neck that was already fucked up for real, 2 herniated, you know, discs in your neck. you're saying, I'll see you in 6 weeks, bro. I'm not a doctor. I don't understand how that would possibly work.
That nigga Ospreay came out and started talking crazy. He said, he said, we gonna get some friends. Came back from commercial break talking to Renee. Yeah, got off the phone with the old boss. I said, Gato? I said,
Steel Cage.
Also, pause. I would like to say, I'm going to save this for the end, but New Japan Pro Wrestling, I got some words for you. We're going to save it for the end, but I have words for you. So I just want
y'all fuck this up the way I think you might.
Chat, hold me accountable to talk about this before we end. Anyway, he said, we're doing a light steel cage match.
Which first off, why? Wait, before we even get there, why it gotta be a lights out steel cage match? What the fuck? Nigga, you just came back. You broke your neck. You magically healed all of a fucking sudden. They got Gorilla Glue in the side of your neck.
Too, guys, Will Ospreay should not be allowed to do steel cage matches. The 2 steel cage matches that he's had in his career have been 2 of not even freaky, genuinely honest to God, terrifying experiences of my life as a wrestling fan. Like the War Dogs one they had in New Japan before when he left, terrifying. Yeah. The one that he had this year, like the one that he had with Kyle Fletcher,
Big Fletch,
terrifying. He gets in there and it's like the crazy really kicks in. Because, and also, what the fuck do you mean you're going to have Tanahashi out there?
Of all places.
And that's before we found out about the rest of the match. We can get there. That's before we find out about who else is in it, right? Even they told Mox, he said,
what the fuck did the idea to have Hiroshi Tanahashi with his no knees, I love you, Ace, to be in a lights out steel cage match? And please keep in mind who you're going up against. What the hell Tanahashi gonna do in a steel cage match at this stage of his career? I'm worried. Right, we still got legs in this retirement tour, babe. Please, I'm worried about you.
Y'all.
Ospreay, you don't know nobody else?
No.
Well, I'm glad somebody answered your question. But yeah, basically, lights out just essentially means that AEW is not responsible for anything that happens. So it's the real freaky shit.
I'm gonna be honest. New Japan Pro Wrestling is never responsible for their own actions, clearly. But I digress. That's another conversation. But I will say, I think
I have no idea,
especially because I've seen Tana's G1 run. Man, he about to do some crazy shit.
Oh,
he about to do.
He's not gonna step in here and give you less than 100%.
And I want to also tell y'all this: never mention John Cena name around me again. After this man do what he about to do, I don't want to hear nothing about no retirement tours from nobody else ever again. And I say this as somebody who grew up on John Cena. Nobody's doing this. Doing this. The only people that have a comparable retirement is probably the Joshis. That's it. Everybody else, stay off the field.
I agree with you. I have no idea, especially considering what gets announced later.
Listen,
I have no idea what this match looks like.
Who has put Okada and Shibata and Anarchy in the arena matches, blood and guts. What they gonna find something for these niggas to do? I don't dispute that. But then we get the rest of the match announced later in the show, and I want you to know the thing is, I said, have I been too nice to AEW lately? I said, I've been pretty happy. I said, I feel like we all been kind of glazed.
We've been really nice.
Like, we've been really nice because I really don't have much.
Happy customers.
I don't have much to complain about. And then I was just like, man, this episode was like really good. I truly, by the time we got like midway through, I said, I'm good. I'm good. Everything I need to see is when they revealed. That I hollered. I just kept, get it! And he was like, I'm so in tune to him. All right. I'm so in tune to him. So like when I first look, all I see is Kenny. Like that's it. Like my eyes immediately like tune in to just Kenny. And then I heard the voice of God in the back of my mind. It said, "Look again, daughter."
Because where there's Kenny.
Look again, daughter. He said, "I want you to live in abundance, daughter."
Oh, we are so
I said, "Is that Coda?" Bitch. I said, "Oh,
no,
freaks are out."
The noises that I let out, because you know what? I literally, y'all know me. Every single fucking week on this show, what do I do?
Every week.
We find
something
to say, you know what? Kenny Omega. My ass. I was watching this whole thing play out. I was like, oh my God, Ospreay back. That's huge for Forbidden Door. That's huge. I said, I was looking at everything. I said, Samoa Joe, he back. I said, that's huge. Everything is ticking right now. The only thing missing is the God of pro wrestling himself. And I didn't believe, because I thought that if he was going to be on this card, like we would have known by now. I mean, the show is next week. But God, somehow tonight we got Ospreay back, Samoa Joe back,
bitch.
Kenny Omega back.
I'm sorry, I'm waving that flag again. How you doing? We're waving that flag.
It's the kind of shit that makes people tribalistic. Now I'm not
waving that flag, and especially too. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all did this to yourselves. I know for a fact when Tony Khan, he said, I know y'all are fucking lie talk about something. Y'all gonna counter program all out. Bet. We're not even gonna let y'all get to September. We gonna start waking you up like this every day.
Baby, here I am. I'm sorry. Yeah, Clay, I'm sorry, everybody. I simply am all elite in my heart of hearts. And I hate to say that about a corporation, but when they provide me with as much joy as they did tonight,
I am contracted to any company that has the elite on their payroll, and that's a fact.
What you want me to say?
If that ever changes, I am morally flexible. But I don't know what else.
And they dropped it so nonchalantly. I thought for sure, honestly, when all of them came back, I thought for sure when Ospreay came back, it was going to be huge. Also, fucking Ohio sucks. Y'all fucking suck. Y'all act like you didn't know who he was. So Ospreay, I thought that was going to be big. And I just knew that if Kenny was going to come back for Forbidden Door, that the music was going to hit and we were going to get this whole song and dance. Matter of fact, he gonna be in that crazy ass match with Ospreay, Tanahashi, and Ibushi.
You know what? It's gotten to the point to where I am in my tribalism journey is the fact that I have just really blocked and muted most of you who think differently than me to the point, because honestly, I don't care to explain to you, convince you that this is good, right? I actually want y'all to keep believing that AEW is bad. You can't come over here. If you wasn't with us in them Death Riders trenches, unfortunately, you cannot be with us in the Hangman.
You cannot reap the rewards of the cowboy shit.
You can't reap the rewards. And then while you're all sitting over there watching Raw and convincing yourself that shit is good, I love that for you. I think you should keep doing it. I think that while you convince yourself that that Cena versus Brock Sex Trafficker is just so groundbreaking instead of watching All Out, I think y'all should keep doing that. I think that you should keep doing that. Do not come. Do not come. You can't come here. I don't know what else to tell you.
Really, honestly, like, it makes me think about what the fuck that all out card is actually gonna look like. It is going to be the baddest heifers on the floor.
Here's the thing. So I didn't think that I'm not saying like I knew or anything, but like I didn't know if Kenny was even going to be back this soon. I didn't expect him to be on Forbidden Door. I didn't expect Kenny to be on Forbidden Door. And I honestly was kind of worried whether or not he was going to do All Out, but I mean, I knew it was going to be in Toronto. But when they put like Cope on the graphic, I said maybe Kenny's not going to be doing anything. But now that I know that the Demon is home, bitch, nobody's safe. Kota Ibushi posted that. Kota Ibushi posted that he signed a 2-year contract extension. And my thing is, now that I know like he can really wrestle again, after that Okada match, honestly, is probably like the most monumental match on TV this year, because it proved to me, I said, oh, we working with something. We can do something. Like, we can do something.
And I'm going to use the hell out of you. Because you know what? Look, my emotional attachment to Kenny Omega, I acknowledge, is a bit odd. I feel
everybody else is odd, actually.
Because why don't you have that? I feel the same way about Kota Ibushi. The difference about this, though, is because I knew Ibushi was okay. I was surprised because I was kind of on the same train. I was like, we haven't really heard anything about Kenny, and I kind of took that as bad news, you know. And like I said, Forbidden Door, I mean, that is a big thing for him in particular to be a part of. But guys, think about it. Ibushi gonna be on the Forbidden Door card.
Kenny also too, like, there's so many like different stuff too. Because I remember I was just like, man, I really hate that Kenny is not gonna be able to, you know, team with Tana like they had originally talked about. Or I said maybe, you know, Tana and Ibushi are never gonna do anything to get again, or Ospreay and Tanahashi are never gonna do anything again. God said, daughter, rest, daughter. Don't fret, daughter. I want you to live in abundance. And he gave me all of it. Everything, everywhere, all
of the time.
I have never, like, I'm talking about being genuinely gagged. Even too, especially like the way that Kota Ibushi left New Japan. Him teaming up.
What I'm saying.
Like, y'all, like,
Forbidden Door card. That is the Forbidden Door. Y'all was talking about, oh, you know, there's not enough collaboration across companies.
I'm gonna be honest, yeah. Like, I haven't felt. I'm waving that flag, man. Y'all, I don't even know a better way to say it. Like, I might spit on Netflix next time I turn on my TV. I might spit on the remote. I might spit on the Netflix button. I might. This shit right here.
You know what? I feel like, again, like I said, like we have earned this, and
we suffer.
I want to acknowledge when AEW is shit, you can always count on me and Lyric to tell you that AEW fucking sucks. When they piss us off, nobody is meaner to All Elite Wrestling than the two of us are.
Nobody.
We talk crazy about
them. Also, I think it's so interesting about this fan base. It reminds me of your comment, Jalen, is that like this is like such a freaky fan base, right? Like everybody is like queer and super homoerotic, or like just super, just like everybody makes like the craziest sexual innuendos, like all day long. I just saw people talk about some as match graphics were being dropped. I'm hard, or people are like, "Oh my god, I'm
Great,
so
George did it right now,
so aroused right now." Like, why are we like this? Why is everybody like this? And it's not just men saying it. It's not just women saying it.
And then I feel like looking at myself, and I'm like, why did I say that?
We're all saying it, and then the wrestlers are saying it. Of just everybody is so freaked out. Like everybody, it feels like this is like a. It's like a collective.
That's the feeling everybody's talking about. Yeah, that's the
feeling. It really is.
You gotta feel it down there. You gotta feel it down there.
Oh, you gotta feel it everywhere, from the bottom to the top, from the crown of your head to the bottom of your feet.
Oh my god!
Like, guys, like Forbidden Door, it's actually shameful that like for us in the US that pay-per-view is going to be during daytime. Like I need to be alone with that show. Like it needs to be dark.
No difference.
Like I'm ready for whatever outcome. I will say also too, like now that I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to write during that show. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know how I'm gonna pull it off. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, guys. Somebody said, "Thank God I'm always alone." Oh, I'm sorry.
God,
so sorry. And it would have been one thing if it was just the men's that really set the tone tonight. Guys, that women's segment, I levitated. I levitated through that trios match. I levitated, but it was the aftermath. When they announced, when I saw that graphics flash.
Wait.
Go ahead, sir.
I want to acknowledge before we get there, when the women's match started, I was already looking at the 6 women in the ring and being like, oh my God, this is the depth we used to dream about. And then whose music hits? Champion of the World. And I said, yes, what we used to dream about. And then another theme hits, and it's the best in the universe. And I said, oh my God,
it was so euphoric. Like they did Mercedes, and then they did Thekla, and then they did Willow, and then they did Aminata. No, they didn't. They did Windsor, and then they did Aminata. Then they did Willow, and you thought that they were done, and then they did Tony, and then they did Athena, and then I still and then they rang the fucking bell. Nah, they gave me everything. Y'all, they owe me nothing tonight. I will say, fine, I'm about to go order that pay-per-view tonight.
Y'all got it.
Y'all got
it.
Hey, man.
What you need for me to make? What you need for me to make it happen?
Flashed on the screen. I said, Mercedes Athena versus Tony and Alex and Scotland. Oh my God. That's for the TV show? Y'all could have put that on the pay-per-view and I would have said, yes, ma'am. Baddest heifers on the show.
And let me tell you something, bitch. As someone whose whole brand is Black Girl Wrestling, you know how long I've been waiting for this goddamn team up. You know how long we've been waiting.
Black Queens forever?
No, buddies, never. What MJF say? You know how long we've been waiting on this goddamn team up? You know how long we've been waiting on Athena to be the full main character that she needs to be for her to be fully integrated into this main event scene? We've been oh my God, there were times I thought this day would never come. There were times I thought this day would never come. And now guess what? Guess the fuck what? They have my girl lined up against who else? The champion of the world. But who's right beside her? The GOAT. So now we have a situation, right, where I can't lose. I can't fucking lose.
Do you realize? I just want you to just think of this. I want you to hear this. I'm gonna write it down on one pay-per-view card. You're gonna have Athena, Mercedes Moné, Toni Storm, Alex Windsor, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Will Ospreay, Hiroshi Tanahashi, John Moxley,
Okada,
Swerve Strickland, Kazuchika Okada, Hangman Adam Page, Kyle Flicker. Takesha's going to end up on it. Guys, and there's so many more.
The best wrestler here. And you know what? I'm sure somehow this will escape our target audience. And people will call us fangirls. People will call us marks. Oh, of course, yes, and Generation Me will also be there.
Oh my God, the Young Bucks are in this match. Oh, they've been wrestling like the Red Dude. But Zack Sabre Jr. Also, I will say, Zack Sabre Jr. Man, you carried B Block. I want to say I can get to that later. You carried B Block. They had you out there with scrubs.
You know what?
You was doing charity.
I was gonna say, ZSJ. I don't know what you did.
Some of y'all was doing charity
to get community service. I don't know what crime you committed.
You could pledge literally any fraternity you would like. You have so many community service hours. Wow. Nigel McGuinness will probably end up being on this card, which is crazy. If y'all manage to get Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander on this card, I will have nothing bad to say ever. Maybe. I don't know. Until next week.
But you know what it is? Until Collision.
I would also like to say
8 p.m. on Thursdays.
It was recently revealed, like 20 minutes ago, that the CMLL participant for the 4-way TBS title match will be Persephone.
Oh, that
is exactly what I needed to hear. Stardom. I'm not sure who's going to be the Stardom representative, but I have plans that I cannot share with you right now because the haters will try to sabotage me. I didn't know that Shuri was going to be back from her injury in time, but now that I know that I think she's already training again. I would be cool with her doing it because she's not actually in the 5-star. And Hazuki has a match in Sendai Girls that night, which I'm really excited to see her do. She's in a hardcore tag match with against Aja Kong, which is going to be freaking all crazy. But this, I said, when I saw somebody tweet the other day, they were just like, aside from Swerve and Willow, there's no black people being pushed at AEW. I said, y'all, I'm gonna be at this point.
You just made that up.
Well, at this point, y'all, whatever helps y'all sleep at night. If you would rather hashtag we want Mellow every week rather than actually watch black talent on television, who am I to stop you?
Get him?
Who am I to stop you? Like at this point,
I like Mellow.
I do too. My thing is, if you would rather, y'all have played such a huge part and you will rather gas up these wrestlers, you will tell them that they have better value sitting in WWE's catering than climbing up the ranks and actually being a single star in AEW, or not even just AEW, or anywhere else, or trying their luck anywhere else. And you know what? If they dumb enough to listen to you, so be it. But what we're not going to do at this point, if you looked at this episode of Dynamite tonight, if you saw the Kevin Knights of the world and the Queen Aminatas of the world and the Powerhouse Hobbses of the world and all these people, in addition, I'm not even bringing those people into it, right? Because you say you already seen them. You already said that they done fit the dang quota for the week.
As opposed to what do y'all? Never mind.
And also too, like, especially, don't get me wrong, like, if Naomi's out long term, what are y'all really gonna do now?
Nothing.
Like, what are you really
doing?
Also, shout out to that queen. I hope that everything is great. And yeah, she's amazing. You are one of our elite employees always.
And we are always rooting for Black women. Point blank.
Correct.
Period.
Absolutely. You are always on the team. You are a card carrying member. I would also like to say, Mercedes, I don't know who
love your wig. Sorry.
I was about to say, I don't know who you've been buying these wigs from.
I love
keep it coming.
And the new render.
I said, ooh, it's getting muggy in here.
The new render is nasty.
It's real muggy.
Nasty, bitch.
It's real muggy around here. I said, oh, Mercedes, this curly wig. I said, you never going back, huh? I said, Mercedes, are you a real all elite soldier? I saw the quote. She said, if y'all ain't ready to work, get the fuck out. Oh my God.
No head locker room leader.
Locker room leader? I said,
she hit that Kenny. I wouldn't have hired 80% of you.
She said, Kenny, hell yeah. I said, my goats have spoken. I said, what else is there to say?
What else is there to say?
Just like that. Wow. And also, too, I want to give a shout out to Athena before we move on for the MPX show this weekend. Absolutely.
Billy and Maya.
Billy Starks and Maya World, two of our most elite employees. Maya World, that contract is coming. I don't care. So somebody is going to have to redact it. But we will get that contract in your hands.
And I say,
hey,
we will
her Swerve and Osprey running those locker rooms like the Marines.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They said, listen, if you got to have at least one, you got to have an average of 4-star match every pay-per-view to have any opinions.
Or don't speak to me.
Or don't talk. So I really
creative has nothing for you.
I respect their leadership. They said, I respect your leadership. They said, we actually will bark on behalf of the other two. Hangman and Tony don't like talking like that, okay? No. They don't like social media. They don't like talking, but they said
their spirit lives through us.
The spirit lives through us, okay?
I speak to the trees. The trees have told me.
You know, Hangman talks to his plants, and I'm his anger translator. That's basically what they said. I will translate it on behalf after he talks to the plants. Wow, they running a tight ship over. It's so funny. Even too, right. And I noticed that noticed that AEW is running a tighter ship because when people get released from WWE now, they don't even like pretend anymore of just like that it's a given for them to get a contract. They say, yeah, my best bet is to get. Hey, what was it? Karrion Kross was like, yeah, my best bet is really to get re-signed by WWE because AEW did not call me. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. He said, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, they did not call me. I'm not saying that you should have said you should have lied, right? I'm not saying that you should have lied, but as a negotiating tactic, be like, I've been reached out to several promotions, you know. Now they don't know if that several promotions is GCW or Control Your Narrative. But no. I would have said, like, you know, several promotions have reached out and et cetera. I don't know what it is. Don't be telling the people that. Y'all telling these people all your business. I actually have no negotiating leverage. The other biggest competitors does not want me. I want to let you know right now, they do not want me. The haters are not trying to sabotage me. They do not want me.
Of an agent. And I must say this. Like, why the fuck are you saying that? Why are you saying that? And you know what? Look, I will say, it is sad when people lose their jobs. I'm never rooting for, even if I don't particularly enjoy your work, if you've never done anything, you never, you know, like, I'm not rooting for you to lose your job. That's not what you know. And I hope that he and the others who've been released by WWE, like, land on their feet.
Yeah.
Not here.
I got to try to negotiate, bro. I don't know. Y'all be going in there.
Not here.
Y'all go in different offices, start talking.
Because I was not watching this episode of All Elite Wrestling's Dynamite and saying, you know what, this is missing? Karrion Kross.
Hey, you want to know what? I will say, I've only seen clips. I actually had to mute the words Karrion Kross. This is the most like I've ever seen his name ever. But when I saw the clips, he was like, yeah, I went to negotiate the contract and they just took it back. They took it back. They said, actually, we don't do negotiations no more. You either take this minimum, this mandatory minimum, or it's over. I said,
first of all, that's crazy.
I said, that's how they moving over there. They said we don't do negotiations anymore. But you know what? But we should have known that, especially once half them girls done said, yeah, I told WWE I wanted to be there so bad. I took a 50% pay cut from what I was making, and I said I'm willing.
Now nobody has negotiating leverage. We don't have to pay anybody. What happened to agents?
What did they? Oh my God! It's just like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like it could 100% be your dream, right? Like, but you don't tell the people that.
Up there, and you can even say, you know, this is huge for me. This is a dream coming true. That's all you gotta say. You don't say they wouldn't even have to pay me. I would scrub the floors if they asked me to.
And here's the thing, you do all that, you work really hard, and by the time it comes for like renegotiating, they said you've been such a good soldier. I'm gonna give you a $5 raise. You're so special.
Oh, somebody said who's doing Duolingo? Me. I know they use AI. I'm sorry. I have a son.
What happened to lawyers? They can't afford any. They make it $45K a year. Languages. They get paid. I ain't gonna lie. It's crazy when the TV wrestlers are getting paid in hot dogs and handshakes. We have a problem.
Recession indicator.
They told them
to join.
They told them WWE ID people. They said we will pay you $1,000 a month. We won't actually use you. You're not actually signed. You could fight over a pretend belt in GCW, but and if AEW wants to sign you for a full-time deal, you can't do it.
12 bands a year.
Super Dragon, please bring dead PWG back. The streets are starving.
Oh my God, please.
The streets are starving.
Please.
They are starving.
Including me.
The streets are starving.
12 bands a year is not even. I don't even think you need to like apply for SNAP benefits at that point. They just hand it to you.
But listen, Barry Bloom said that you got to have at least a 96 2K rating for him to represent you. He said, I only baddest heifers on the floor, like elite, only the most elite employees. You got to think about his clients. His clients are Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, and the Young Bucks. You do what you want with that information.
Y'all ain't got no damn money.
And y'all can't make him no money because think about if he get making them that type of money, his cut is crazy. You got to have somebody.
You got to be on a Rob list.
You got to be on the Rob list. Exactly. But I digress. Y'all, please speak to an attorney. I don't know a better way to say it. Y'all got to stop telling the people that. Stop. Even if AEW don't want you, lie.
No one will ever know that you.
Nobody will ever know because Tony Khan's never going to.
It's a business to say.
And you don't have to say AEW by name.
And you know what? You know what? Look, there are financial freedom classes at many. You can get them at churches. You can get them at your own bank. If you, honest to God, you walk into any of these institutions and you explain your situation, they're going to tell you the same damn thing. Speak to your pastor if you need to. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be afforded to you. Okay? Don't tell everybody everything.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, I can't wait for Glasgow next week. What else do we have?
Why did you make that noise?
I forgot the Cope Stoke match.
Yep.
This was awful. I will say, I am still interested in the Cope and Christian team up, but if they keep missing like this, that window is closing. Like y'all gotta have a hit rate because I'm not gonna lie. Christian's last live promo was bizarre. This was awful. And
it was honestly, it was very out of place with the rest of a
1000%. It definitely
very out of place.
And I'm not sure what it is because there's never been a time really in AEW until I would say these last couple months where Christian felt like a old nigga taking up TV time. Like he's never.
That's not how I feel about him. That's never been how I feel about him.
And so like,
why are we? Why is this happening now?
Like he's been in AEW so long to where like and I don't want to blame nobody, but it's just like
Well,
how do I say this? Christian's presence in AEW has helped Cope more than Cope's presence in AEW has helped Christian.
million times.
Christian has had a really good thing going over here. You know, he had a great thing going here, actually. Truly. And then his friend came over here, and yeah.
I don't
and
know.
I love them.
I don't know what you want me to say. Like, Edge and Christian were one of the reasons that I started watching wrestling. Like, I love them bad. The reality of the 2025 situation is that I feel like Christian Cage understands, or to this point has understood, his position on the card and where he best fits. I do not know if Adam Copeland understands that same thing. And it has caused a weird, bizarre chasm in between. You know, we're trying to find these two things. And you know what? I'm going to add, I don't give a fuck about FTR at the moment. Not a single fuck about FTR. And the concept that they might beat Bandito and Brody King to face the Hurt Syndicate is outlandish to me. That doesn't seem like that makes any fucking sense at all. And is it likely what's going to happen? Yes. But like, again, this whole like little universe y'all got going on feels very out of place with an otherwise very good show that is all connected.
Yeah, I think that one thing that it's not even the fact that Christian was in the mid card, because I think when Christian main evented, by the time Christian main evented Wrestle Dream with the TNT title, it felt fitting. It felt like a big enough belt. I think the thing that Christian always did well was moderation, right?
Yes.
He literally would go in there, get on that microphone, your daddy dead, 6 minutes flat, right?
See?
6 minutes flat. Like he would be so concise, especially at a time when MJF was taking 25 minutes every week to say a bunch of nothing. Christian Cage was always so concise with his hate. Moderation was key, you know, and that's why he felt like a big deal. And I think like Cope is like one of those more is more type people. It's always more and more. Christian was one of those less is more type people. And whenever he's in relation to Cope, it's definitely much more is more. And now you have them doing more is more. Then you have FTR doing more is more. And I want to die.
Everybody is so extra, and honest to God, this would go crazy on the first half hour of Rampage. Unfortunately for you.
Show I've been waiting on.
Unfortunately for you, baby. That show does not exist anymore. And do you see everything else we got going on? Do you really think that this is on par with that?
And I think also TK, to a lesser extent, right? I want to say it is 100% a lesser extent from what we've seen from AEW in the past. And so I do want to give TK credit for that. And just like AEW is a credit for that, because I think for a while it did feel like the older vets were running the show, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, you know, please, can we see people we actually want to see? But I do feel like the balance is better, but it still sticks out like a sore thumb. And I think we're seeing it with those two. And we're also seeing it with the Hurt Syndicate. I do think we need to be honest about it at this point of, especially now, why is it that everybody we see in tag matches every single week, and they're all fantastic? Men are having great tag matches. Women are having great tag matches. We're doing 6-person tag matches, 8-person tag matches, 12 tag matches, 2 on 2. It doesn't matter. We're doing all sorts of stuff, and they all slap except for when they include the tag team champions. And you broke up MJF, and honestly, MJF ended up outshining the group. MJF didn't need the Hurt Syndicate. They needed MJF, because I will say, at least people were at least hooked into that of like, oh, where's this going to go with Max? And now that you've taken,
and the answer was nowhere.
And now that you've taken Max away from it, now it feels like I really don't care about what the Hurt Syndicate got going on at all.
They haven't done anything since. They haven't done anything since.
I agree. Shelton Benjamin, we will get you out of there. When I'm talking about this, I'm never talking about you. You are a special demon, and also you are a tag team specialist. Shelton Benjamin is a tag team wrestler, you know, like, and Bobby is not. Bobby is not. And unfortunately,
but you know what? It's not even just that, because the matches, okay, fine, whatever. The match, you don't wrestle. You don't wrestle. And a show that has a million all-star tags, which I know are controversial, I love, and a show that has tag matches up and down the wazoo, every fucking where you can look. You don't wrestle.
I think also too, I think like they feel like they don't have to wrestle, right? Like I think like they're in that.
Yeah,
like,
but you do.
The champions, we don't wrestle. But here's the thing. I think that did work in WWE. This is AEW. Hangman and Tony Storm wrestled for like the first 3 weeks after All In. If the world champions who are and crazy connections with the crowd, if Mercedes Moné is getting out of there and lacing up her boots and putting on her good wig on tight, okay? If all these people,
do you think you? That's just a thing. Like that's just.
That's one thing I can also say about Jon Moxley too. Yeah, he terrorized us for months, but he was never scared to get in that ring.
He was working even when we didn't want him to.
Even when we didn't want him to.
Even when we were like, girl, take a vacation. He was clocked in.
Even MJF has been wrestling more this year.
Yeah, he has. And that's really, I think, contributed to
that's
the
really
way
helped.
People have, perceived him. But I mean, that, and I feel like maybe it's finally catching on to everyone that you do have to wrestle. There's nobody here that is above that. There's nobody here besides Cash Money Kazu.
And Kenny Omega.
And Kenny Omega is different to me because like he's
I'm gonna be honest. I do think we need to say that in the sense of I think that certain guys feel like because of things that they've done in other places, right? Like they can be part-time wrestlers. Some of you can. Kenny Omega earned part-time status.
Absolutely.
Even if he wasn't like, even if he didn't have the diverticulitis or whatever, he's earned that.
It's his company.
He's earned that. Like it's certain people who have earned, like I wrestle when I want and I can do what I want. Y'all don't have that type of, like, I guess, emotional like currency built up in the audience.
And first of all, you haven't been here long enough to have that. I
think Shelton has it because we've seen him wrestle, and I think at this point, I don't even think anybody really wants to see the Hurt Syndicate wrestle anymore. I think it's just we've kind of gotten to the point where it's just take the titles off of him, let's move on. Then move on.
That's how I feel.
And that sucks.
And it does suck because I mean I don't hate the pairing, and I don't hate the group as a whole and what it can be. I was really excited about this. But I mean, yeah, the reality is like this is a lace your boots up promotion. And if you're not looking to lace your boots up, it's hard for the audience to connect with you. It's hard for people to stand here and advocate for you to hold the belts when you see people who are, whether they're losing or not, they clocked in, each and every single week. You even think about Jet Speed. I look at Jet Speed and I'm like, okay, they got bitched by the Hurt Syndicate week after week after week. And then what did they do? Got back in the fucking ring. Got back to take another, to take more pins, to take whatever.
They only survived that because they wrestled.
They only survived that because they wrestled. And you have to wrestle your way out of it. And if you're not willing to wrestle your way out of a slump, like that's how AEW works. I don't know what to tell you.
And it's not even the fact that I think like the fans dislike them or anything. I don't even think it's just more so it's like apathy. It's like,
that's
okay,
what I'm saying. Yeah.
I would rather see something else. Brodito is fun. I like their matches. I want to see that. Even for people who are FTR fans, they're like people who are into the ring. They're like, I'd rather see that. Like it's just at this point.
Current stuff in that same category though. I'm apathetic towards it, but I understand where you're.
No, I'm just saying like people are just like, oh, I'd rather see this. Like the even like the Young Bucks are fantastic right now. Like I'd rather see anything else.
And the Young Bucks, contrary to the Hurt Syndicate, the Young Bucks are also in that rarefied air. They don't have to be here.
No.
They don't have to be here.
I mean, they do right now because they're poor, but yeah, you're correct.
Well, I mean,
but I also
they've earned the right to not be here. They have not earned the money to not be here.
I think it's even put like a bigger light on the women, and too, in the sense of people do want more women. Like whenever they do women's tag matches, especially this, they have been excellent. People are more excited for women's tag team wrestling and like everything else except for this, honestly. Everything else except for this run. I don't know what else to tell you. We'll see. But
last clean singles loss was May in 2020 to AJ Styles. Oh.
All right. Not gonna touch that. Not gonna touch it. Not gonna touch it. I digress.
Talk about Big Stoke. What do you want me to say? Sure, he's bald. He has no hose. Honestly, that is something that I feel like I have said to people online. When he said that, I was like, "Is this fucking play about us?" Did I say that? Also, just quickly, I want to note the crowd chanting. Well, two things. One, the girl that he gave the mic to was like, "Would he ever have a shot with you?" Was in a wrestling wind down shirt. Shout out to Lo. And she ate her little 2 seconds up, girl. You ate that up. Two, a wrestling crowd chanting "no hose" towards a performer is incredibly funny.
I'm not gonna lie, that
also a moment where we need to do some introspection because you are at a wrestling show.
I was about to say,
those in glass houses should not throw stones.
That would have been my 13th reason. If this crowd said that, that would have been that
one of you bitches have hoes. Exactly, Chloe. Likely place for no hoes to be.
You know,
who are you making fun of? This could be a group chat of incels. Oh, that's me. I'm sorry.
All right. Next we had that all-star 8-man. It was the Young Bucks, Kyle Fletcher, and Josh Alexander versus Ishii. Who else was in it? Why am I blanking? Oh my God.
Well, Kyle Fletcher was in it.
Kyle Fletcher was in it. And
how do we get to 8? Hold on.
Ishii, Hologram, Brody King, and a surprise New Japan entrant. I knew that one, but I was trying to say that for last. We had Hiromu Takahashi. Listen, what I do love about Hiromu is that when he had at his actual job, he gives you what you get what he gives you, right? But whenever he's like at other places, he gives full energy. He was just at Noah this weekend, did a really great show out there. He's been kind of booked and busy because like the juniors always go on side quests during the junior 1 season, as they should. But yeah, I'm really excited. Hiromu wouldn't have been my pick for Kyle Fletcher. I felt like, I would have probably gone with Yuya or even like El Desperado, but like Hiromu Takahashi is like gigantic. That's a huge name. Like I didn't even know like that was even an option. So like I'm perfectly happy with it. Like
this was my sleeper pick. This was who I kind of figured it would be. I mean, looking at the landscape, and you need, I don't want to say like a baby face that doesn't need an explanation, but like I'm kind of like you immediately get the vibe when Takahashi.
Absolutely. You better not bring Daryl. You do have to lock in versus the Proto Star. Do not bring that. Do not bring Daryl.
I'm the opposite. I want you to bring Daryl.
Imagine, bro, Kyle Fletcher's gonna rip Daryl apart. Actually, that might be cool. Also, Kyle Fletcher, I have decided how I'm gonna
fuck you.
I think that, you know what, guys. Also, I didn't even notice this because I mute most of my tweets after I tweet them. So like when people call me slurs and stuff afterwards, I never like see it until like days later, if I even go back and see it. But I made that tweet about Kyle Fletcher. Why is the belt not pink? And Ricochet responded to it like and was like, because you people can't have what you want. I saw it like 3 days later. Let me tell you something. First of all, I don't care your ball. But second of all,
it's with me too.
You might be onto something there. Like you might be onto something there. And so I've decided that I'm going to change up my tactics. Because Kyle Fletcher, I understand that you want to be a little heel or whatever. So instead, we are going to do the exact opposite. Kyle Fletcher, I hate custom belts. I think that black belt is amazing. I think that it's amazing. That's exactly how we should keep it.
You know what? Take and
it should especially not be pink. Like you should not have a pink belt, specifically a pink belt.
No, Lyric is being nice about this. Kyle Fletcher, fuck you. You had one fucking job. All right, bitch. You've been capitalizing off pink for this whole run, and you know it, and you know it. You know exactly that strap was supposed to be proto pink. Okay, this isn't pink. Funny. This isn't, and I'm gonna start telling people you're poor. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say everybody had to pay for their custom TNT title belts, and you couldn't cough up the fucking money because you spent it all on a BBL. That's what I'm gonna start
on. You spent it on Fenty Beauty Body Lava.
You spent it on Secret. I'm gonna start telling everybody that you cannot afford a custom TNT title belt because
you're investing in the Sacred Edge drops
at Sephora
and hoping that your hair grows back. He spent it all on Sacred Edge drops.
It won't. And Takesha's never gonna love you. Fuck you. You know everybody named Mama wanted a pink strap, and all men do is disappoint.
You know what? It's really cool that they're doing that match. Going after this stuff, I would like to say, bro, a lot of people talk shit about a lot of people talk shit at this point about both Okada and Swerve. Like they barely trying out there. Listen,
that was true.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I can see why. I get it now. Why, if I didn't respect him sometimes, I see why y'all really hate the fact that like Swerve has gotten so popular. Bro, them niggas went out there and said a bunch of nothing. Like they said a bunch of nothing.
Okada specifically.
Like, they said a bunch of nothing. Swerve was even trying to tell the audience about an injury. They didn't care. Like they didn't care. They don't give a bro. You can have knock knees, two knees, two.
You're so tough, big bro.
Nobody cares. Big bro. You so care whose house, Swerve's house.
Push me, big bro.
Nana in the background. Bro, Okada came out there, suit rumpled. Yeah, Swerve, you can't beat me, bitch. Aura, push. They said, let them fight. I said, they did absolutely nothing.
No, you know what? Let me pause. Because, you know, for a lot of the criticism that AEW gets I think is in bad faith. When people say AEW doesn't tell stories, I don't think that's true. I think they tell incredible stories. When people provide examples like this, I get where you're coming from.
Honestly, though, but this also goes into another AEW misconception that's clearly not true. AEW doesn't have real stars. AEW doesn't build real stars. AEW don't have real aura. Listen, Swerve Strickland had a feud so powerful 2 years ago due to the fact that he could go on autopilot with anybody not named Hangman Adam Page, and he can still remain a top 3 star in the company. If that is not aura, I don't know what is.
Maybe that's motion. I don't know whether it's fair or not. That is motion. And
Swerve still is not a great talker. Swerve still is not a great talker at all. But the audience has decided they just don't care. They've decided that they don't care at all.
And you know what? Look, I think that AEW, when they are like this and it's positive, I find it endearing and charming. And when they are like this and the product sucks, I find it a flawed business.
Really, yeah.
I find it infuriating. Right now, I'm so endeared. There's so much going on.
Because what we knew when the match was booked, and that's the reason why they booked this match first. This is a money fight. Yes. The money is in the match. The money is all in the match. We're not here for promo segments and stuff like here. We decided that we were going to show up the second they announced it.
Ring the bell, baby.
Ring the bell. That's it. Ring the bell.
And Kazu he's also at that stage of his career. What the fuck he got left to prove?
Cash Money Kazu stood over Kenny Omega's broken bodies with 3 gold belts in a stadium, in a Globe Life Field, after on cruise control. I want y'all to think about the fact that him, Ospreay, and Mercedes all get signed around the same time, right? Think about the paths that each of these people had to all in. Think about like how hard some of them worked. Kazuchika Okada was given a Supermax contract to wrestle 1 match.
And you know what? You can't even say shit about it because you'd be stupid not to.
To the point to where, and the thing is, they went into it with the expectation this doesn't even have to be as good as the previous matches. We know for a fact y'all got such a crazy fan base that we gonna book this and we're gonna immediately move tickets because that's how much people just want to be in the building. They just want to breathe your air.
Myself included. I'm a mere mortal. I sat up here how many weeks and I said, I'm not going to that shit. I'm not spending all that fucking money. I'm not going to that shit.
Dani texted me, said, fine. Fine. Man.
And at the end of the day, right? Like, I have no regrets, and I'm sure Cash Money Kazu doesn't either.
Now, I will say, I do 1,000% believe Okada's going to put in super effort on this match.
That's what somebody asked.
I do believe.
They were like, what's the ceiling for this match? The ceiling for this match is however much effort Kazuchika Okada wants to give you.
I do think that this is going to be a $5. I think this could be a $5.
I am not convinced.
This is why I say this is because I think that Okada and Omega had nothing to prove, right?
Yes.
But I do think because this is the first title defense of that unified championship belt, and this is supposed to be positioned as a second world title, essentially, I think that you need to set the bar for like that first defense super high. And also too, Swerve knowing that Hangman is also in that card is going to like switch that flip in his head.
Not just on the card, he's world champion now.
Exactly, but like I said,
what you mean, nigga.
Exactly. And one thing that even when they're apart, they really push each other, and so I think the bar is going to be really high for this man. And you also have to think, even though he was world champion last year, think about the performance that Swerve put up last year at Forbidden Door, versus Ospreay an excellent match. And I also think Okada is locked in. Okada's performances, like probably since Dynasty, have all been really great. Like for the most part, since Speedball, he's been super locked in.
Speedball woke him up. And we said it at the time, and we were right. I don't know how long that will last, and I hear you, and I don't disagree. I don't think that I'm fully convinced that Okada's locked in for this one. I hope that he will be, because honestly, the potential of both athletes, in this match, like, it could be incredible. It honestly really could be. I don't know, but you know what? That's part of Okada's charm, and it's
as we saw tonight,
it's his prerogative.
It also doesn't have to be, and niggas still gonna eat it up. They could give us. They could do a strong 3 3/4, and everybody gonna say hell yeah. They gonna have an aura off.
Hell yeah.
Swerve is gonna find another comic book character to cosplay. Kazu's going to do something really, really, really cool. I don't know. It's gonna be they're gonna stand there.
It's gonna be a 15-minute entrance for both of them for a
They're
12-minute
gonna
match.
stand across the ring from each other, and they're gonna do
What's up?
holy shit chants.
Whose house? Yeah.
Side's house.
You gotta do the accent though. Oh my god! The week after Forbidden Door, we've got to do the whole show in an accent.
Nothing beats a jet
to holiday. But right now, you could say £50 per person.
That's just weird.
I'm so serious. We're gonna do the whole show with a British accent on the day after Forbidden Door.
Did I ever tell you?
Should we do it next week?
Did I ever tell you the story about how I developed a slight British accent one summer? So like I was a bit of an Anglophile. And I mean, obsessed with British culture. This is around when I started. Listen. Hey, like when I start like learned about VPNs, and I'm watching like I'm watching X Factor UK, and I'm into One Direction, and I'm also big super Harry Potter fan. And I'm also a big Sherlock fan, and I'm also
British.
I'm also a big Doctor Who fan. Yeah, no, I really did want to be British.
I guess I just don't understand that desire. Y'all know the problem I have with
where. I'm only listening to British artists too. So I'm listening to Ollie Murs and Cher Lloyd and Rebecca Ferguson and One Direction and all these people, like to the point that I even only watch the news on BBC News, BBC America. So I developed a slight.
We won the war. It's over. You don't have to live like that anymore.
Everything that I consumed, everything I consumed for an entire summer, all input was all British. I was even reading, even like the tabloids I was reading. I was reading Sugarscape. I don't know if anybody remembers Sugarscape back in the day.
I was a One Direction fan. Of course I remember Sugarscape.
All I was reading was Sugarscape. That was it. So that was unsettling. That was really funny. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Next, also they said that Gabe is cleared for this match too. I hope so. Also, why they left Willie Yuta off? He can't come.
No,
I noticed that. I looked back. I said,
I didn't know he's not in it. He's not in it.
Yeah, so it's Young Bucks, Claudio, Mox, and Gabe.
Damn. They replaced you, Yuta?
Got hog tied.
Crazy.
Also,
I am a bald person nonetheless.
You know what? I've learned to really appreciate. I love John Moxley's relationship with the Young Bucks. Like, why do they low-key get each other in so many different ways? Like
the Young Bucks being in the extras room. I was like, who the fuck are they talking to back there? Who are those people? That's Matthew Nicholas.
They got him in there with scrubs. I will say
back too. I miss him more than any of you guys do. I promise.
New ways that they invent every week to disrespect the Young Bucks. Wow. You
know what? That's actually my dream job. To find new ways to make people look bad. That's my dream job. To make people look poor, to make people look lame. I think I'd be great at it in a pro wrestling sense. Even though I never, ever, ever want to have a job with anything to do with pro wrestling.
Thank you for sharing.
Anytime.
And last but certainly not least, the Demon came home. We had the return of Samoan. Wait. What you reading? What's the tag thing?
Move on. Anyway, we talked about our rice purity scores on here, right? Of the AO3 rice purity scores.
Yeah. I had a 47.
I had a 12. So might be an 8 now.
You're a real freak, bro. Hey, I respect it. No, I'm not gonna lie. I saw your score and I got inspired. I said that I think I told you that. I said, don't worry, check back in a month.
All elite freaks. What can I say? BG Dub always on top. Anyway.
Next, the Demon was home. Samoa Joe surprise return. Tony Khan. I wasn't prepared for that.
They just threw that out there. I thought he was like hurt. So,
I said, if we get Shibata on this card, y'all, listen, I hope if Goto ends up clear, that's here's the thing. Forbidden Door is already really important to me. I'm already coming, guys. But if you find a way to put Katsuyori Shibata versus Hiroki Goto in that card, I might slap somebody whoever say something crazy about you, Big TK, for a while. You do have a 1 week minimum maximum to get all the slaps out.
You're still a billionaire. You would have to stop me because
for a week I would. For Shibata Goto, yeah, for a week. Yeah,
no,
I'd tap you.
Nah, you can't be safe.
I can be bought.
You know what? I'm incredibly morally flexible. I've said this time and time again. And I saw his tweet that was like, I would never sell out unless it was for literally any
amount of money. Oh yeah, Zach and Nigel is coming. Yeah, Shibata versus Goto. Yes, I will be. Actually, I can't even tell y'all
what. And honestly, if Goto's not cleared, I still want Shibata on that card.
Yes.
Get creative.
You do what you gotta do. I don't know what to tell you.
What you want me to say?
Yeah. But that would be really cool. That would be
Takeshita.
Oh my god, you're so correct. What are we gonna do with Takeshita? You know what? I think that's a really great way to close this. Talk about. I think we need to talk about New Japan. I want to talk about this, but shout out to Shimojo, big win over LFI. Really happy to see you back. But New Japan Pro Wrestling. I know some of you may or may not be watching the G1, and if you aren't, then
good for you.
That's okay. And here's the thing. I don't want to.
There have been some very good matches.
There's been some really great stuff. And honestly, the future is really, really bright for New Japan. There's some people who have had really strong performances. Unfortunately, those are not the people being pushed to the tip of the top. I saw the most inspiring match from Yuya Uemura and Ryohei Oiwa just for both of them, and neither of them to make the tournament, the playoffs. I know that sometimes it's easier to say, oh my God, it's AEW ruined in New Japan, or, all these people, foreigners jumping ship and people like that ruined New Japan, etc. The real villain is that bald-headed demon in Bullet Club. Bald-headed demon with that gold. I witnessed legitimate terrorism over the past week. The things that were done in that final A block night, none of those words or scenarios are in the Bible. The way that Hiroshi Tanahashi's G1 ended was absolutely shameful. I stayed up and I went to bed disgusted. All of those tiebreakers and stuff because Tanahashi has to lose for Tsuji to go through. Thanks for somebody for saying that. Do you know you have 30 minutes?
30.
Do you know and that's why, and I can't sit here because I try to tell people like, oh my gosh, like there is so much really good stuff. Like I think Callum Newman had a really great tournament. Oiwa had a great tournament. Drilla Maloney had 2 really great matches. One of them was today. Zack Sabre Jr. carried B Block. There were so many really great stories, but multiple things can be true. And unfortunately, House of Torture was the dominating thing. That and Shota Umino. Jesus Christ.
That's the real fear.
Y'all, because the thing is,
out of here.
I watched that Takeshita Ren Narita main event for B Block with my heart in my ass. And I literally, when Takeshita pulled out the win after that terrorist attack, I couldn't even rest easy because I'm gonna be honest, y'all. It really is set up. He could win. Like Shota could win. And the thing is, I am not going to lie to you and say that Shota hasn't improved. He had a better G1 than he did last year. But that bar is, exceptionally low. If I had to take all of the younger generation, right, that had in the who were in the G1 this year. So who is that? That's Shota, Yuya, Ren, Tsuji, Callum Newman, Oleg, and Oiwa and Drilla. So that's 9 people, right? If I had to order them from greatest to least in this tournament, Shota Umino is barely top 5, if at all.
I don't think he is.
Like, if at all. And that was being generous. Like, that's being generous. And the only reason why I even said, like, he's bumped up with that is because he did manage to have some, some good matches with people who just always have good matches.
Which doesn't make it you. Look, am I going to sit up here and tell you people that I've watched every single match of the G1 Climax? No, that would not be true.
I did.
I that's why I'm going to let Lyric get her shit off. Here's what I can tell you. I watch every match that Yota Tsuji is in. I watch every match that Takeshita is in. I watch every match of Hiroshi Tanahashi's last G1 Climax, because that's what it is. Don't let them tell you anything else. This is it. Okay? And with that in mind, and I've caught some of ZSJ's matches before I found out what they had going on in B-Block. And I said, this is not of God. I will tell you this. If Shota Umino wins the G1 Climax,
y'all won't see me till Wrestle Kingdom, and that's the fact. And I'm only showing up for Tana's retirement, bro.
It will truly, for everything that people say about New Japan at the moment, where they talk about, I don't necessarily agree with all of it, but the lack of stars, the lack of, all that shit that people talk about. Like, if Shota Umino is the face, is the winner of the G1 Climax, it's going to be very, very difficult to combat those allegations. It's going to be very, very difficult to try to find silver linings. And yes, there have been people that have had good tournaments, but if this is the star that we're hitching the wagon to, and I don't hate Shooter. I really don't. I know a lot of people do. Like, he's like 27, 28. Like, I don't have stocks, but am I fully giving up on this person? No. I mean, you're not even 30. But with that being said, the G1 Climax is the most prestigious tournament in the world.
Yeah.
You are not the best wrestler in the world.
I mean, not even like
you are not the best wrestler in
close.
New Japan Pro Wrestling. You are not the best wrestler in the G1 Climax. You are not the best wrestler in your block.
You're not the third best wrestler in your block.
I have no idea. You know what? And let's not get too ahead of ourselves, because maybe it's not him. Maybe this is a diversion. It seems like it's him. Maybe it's not. So I'm gonna save like the bulk of my anger for if/when it happens, because then it's going to be a whole nother conversation. I don't like the way things are shaking up, but
this is what I'm. I'm
already tired of
my hands while I say this. I agree, Jalen. Oyo versus Yuya was the true show of Shota's deficits compared to other people around his age. And it showed a lot of people's deficits. I'm not going to be honest. You know what I also realized in this tournament? Yota Tsuji has a lot of deficits, but he can get around a lot of them because he just fucking looks cool.
Yep.
If you can't even look cool, bro, like, because I'm going to be honest, faking it till you make it is part of the game. Like, nobody expects you to be perfect, like, or a full product. Tsuji looks like a star. And looking like a star is half the battle. This Jinsei Shinzaki cosplay that Shota has going on with, I don't know what this haircut is and these white pants and like all that. Like, it is, you have been having a permanent identity crisis since we've met you. And it was one thing, I'm going to be honest, I think you should go back to that Tanahashi cosplay he was doing back when you first came back from Rev Pro. That was great. The bring the tights back, grow your hair out, whatever that was, fine, right? But I think my frustration is that I am all for giving the youth the room to grow into who that they are meant to be, right? However, we've gotten to a point to where does he have to be in the biggest spots of the company to grow?
No.
You have given him a Wrestle Kingdom main event. He flopped. You then proceeded to give him a New Japan Cup final. He did okay. You then proceeded to give him a world title match at Tanahashi's last show in the US. Terrible. You then proceeded to put him in the playoffs for the G1 Climax. I don't know. And I think it's also too, but here's the thing. Yota Tsuji has said to himself, like when they were prepping for, if you watch the VTR ahead of the first Yota Tsuji Gate match at New Beginning in Osaka, when they were doing like those interviews, he flat out said, both of them basically said this, but like Tsuji flat out said that like the New Japan management, it doesn't matter what the rest of them do, of just until Shota gets to where they feel like they will need him to be. It doesn't matter how good the rest of them are. They are still going to be judged by his mistakes. Like they are going, and it feels pretty obvious. And I think that's what it comes out of, at least so far, of the tournament, like how it feels like that has come across in the sense of, yeah, Yuya did everything that we've been asking for the younger generation to do as far as developing their game, really honing in on their skill set, connecting with the audience. I think Yuya did that better than everybody else, but I also think that everybody else really grew, like I'm not going to say like they were such. I think Tsuji looked, really good in this tournament. I think that, like I said, Cal Newman, I think Bolton Oleg looked really good. I think that, Oiwa had a great first tournament. We've seen substantial growth from most everybody. And it's just like, at this point with Shota, we'd be like, well, this is better than last year. Okay. And it's just it's just at this point, but I kind of have gotten resigned to the fact of it really doesn't matter. Yuya can be literally perfect, but until they get Shota up that hill, and they're going to keep trying. And maybe it's the nepotism. I don't know. I don't know. And here's the thing. People are like, but look what happened. David Finlay grew into himself. He sure did. I will say, shout out to David Finlay. David Finlay has had a great tournament. David Finlay has had a great tournament. He had a great tournament last year. David Finlay has been one of New Japan's most consistent performers. He was dog shit for a long time, and then one day it clicked. But David Finlay at least had like basic fundamentals at a certain point, y'all. And also the thing is, I truly believe that looking the part is half the battle. If you can't even pick a good pair of pants, how am I supposed to believe that you can lead this company?
You look crazy.
No, and my thing is also too, you got to think of half the New Japan stars in the past. Not only were they great wrestlers, they did look cool. They looked cool. Everybody looked cool. When David Finlay stopped cosplaying as Jay White and started investing in quality fur coats, life changed for him. His Wrestle Kingdom entrance is still one of my favorite.
Jay White levels of unconvincing is I'm gonna steal that. Sorry.
Guys, it's just really gotten to the point to where, like, one thing about Finlay, and I think it really helped, he figured out his look. Like, he figured out his look. And part of that is, like, half the battle. Yuya, listen, I kind of really like that little disco shit that he got going on, that Elvis shit. I like it. with his little mohawk, and he got the little, kids are gonna love it. It's something they can relate to, with the fringe and something. It's different. It gets the people going. Yoda Suji, ever since he switched over to them blue pants, T. Now he don't play. Now he do not play by dressing. He stay in a nasty costume. I don't know, y'all. I just don't know. We gonna keep it up in prayer. Here's the thing: people are like, "Oh, Takesha's tournament, it wasn't as good as it was last year." It wasn't. I'll be honest, and I'm not gonna lie. Part of me felt like he got bored out there sometimes. But I also feel like I don't think that Takesha declined it anyway. I think that for the most part, everybody else got better. I think last year he absolutely dog walked all of his generation mates last year in New Japan by a landslide. And I think some of them, which they should have, took that as a chip on their shoulder and said, when he come back this year, we got something for him. Y'all let him come in your house, eat your meal. What are you prepared? Nobody believes in you.
I keep using that video.
What are you prepared to do about it? A lot of them boys stepped up.
And
as they should have.
What was I going to add? We're talking about the G1. We're talking about the younger generation. Actually, never mind. I'm going to write about that. I don't disagree with anything you've said about Takesha's G1. But you'll have to read about it on Black Girl Wrestling.
But anyway, y'all, keep thoughts and prayers. The playoffs start in less than 5 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to get some sleep and then jump in. But yeah, guys, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. This is a longer show than usual, but we had a lot to discuss. Kenny Omega has returned home to us. And he's bringing Kota Ibushi with him. Isn't God amazing? Amen.
Welcome home, princess.
But yeah, we shall talk to you next time. Thank you for tuning into the Dynamite Diaries. We'll see you later. Bye.
You didn't even plug anything.